Thanks for joining us this week. This week I inoculated some trees with mushrooms using a kit from North Spore Mushrooms out of Maine. They're these little plugs that you drill holes into logs and you plug them in and cover them up in wax, and then your mushrooms grow. This time I chose the Shiitake brand. On their list it says they're the beginner one. I've grown mushrooms a couple different ways in the past, but this is my first time doing a plug spawn spore, so I'm going to go this route. I'm really excited about it, and I'm really excited to see what the yield turns out to be. But that's going to take some time. But we got to get started somewhere, right? So one of the first things I got to do is I have to collect some wood that's compatible with the mushrooms, the Shiitake spawn plugs. According to the internet and everything I've searched up, I think this is an American sycamore, which will be suitable for my mushrooms. So I'm just going to cut this down into maybe some equal shaped logs, and then I'm going to use that to inoculate. So I ended up placing some duct tape on here just to mark 1 inch so I don't dig too deep into the wood. But yeah, we'll get started. I take that back. Zigzag pattern. Well, let me do one more just in case. I have not been keeping count of these holes, so we'll hope for the best. Like I said, 100 holes I need. All right, that should be enough for now. If I'm low on spots, I'll just create more. no big deal. So the next step I have to do is I actually have to put the plug spawns inside of the logs. This is what they look like. So I get mine from this company called North Spore. They're out of Maine. I'm not, affiliated with them in any way, but I actually got a pretty, high desire to start growing mushrooms a few years back. And they started off with these really cool, like, spray and grow kits that you actually just put in your living room. Or I put them in my kitchen, actually, but essentially it's just this box that's already has the mycelium, it's already inoculated, everything is already done for you. All you really have to do is you just cut it open and start spraying. You spray it a few times a day or 2 times a day. You just basically keep the substrate moist, and mushrooms grow in your kitchen. The one that I did for the first time was I did the blue oyster mushrooms, and then I did the lion's mane, which both came out really great. I would definitely do them again, but since then I've gotten into a little bit more of doing it myself. So I started off once, I did a tub, and I tried to make my own homemade tub to grow everything within it, and that didn't end up working out all so great. I did blue oyster mushrooms, and I did get a good yield on the first round, but the first harvest, but it didn't really produce. It didn't produce as much as I'd hoped, at least. And I'm just thinking I might have done something wrong. And then they now have these bags that have everything already pre-made into it. All you have to do is inject the spores, and then it's kind of like that cut and bag idea again. So I did that again with some blue oyster mushrooms, and that worked out perfectly. That worked out so well. But I've always wanted to do their plug spawns. So essentially you take these plugs, you put them into the holes that I just dug out, you cover it with a wax. It has to be like some type of food grade wax. So I got some Gulf wax. It's a paraffin wax. People use it for canning. I don't actually know how that works, but maybe I can figure that out some other day. But yeah, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all the plug spawns in, and then I have to break this apart somehow. And I've got a lighter. I was just going to kind of drip the wax onto the holes and then just kind of smooth it out afterwards. We'll see how it works, though. I have a rubber mallet. I hope that suffices. Oh, cool, yeah. So I have all the holes plugged, and this is what it looks like up close. Next, I need to figure out what to do about the wax. I was thinking I'm going to just try to use a lighter on like the corner or whatever. I couldn't split them apart. But yeah, we'll see if that works. So I've brushed the wax on all of the plugs and all the sticks. Now we stack them up on a pallet. The directions were saying to keep it directly off the ground during the inoculation period. The inoculation period takes quite some time. It could be anywhere from 6 months to 2 years. So I think I already mentioned this, but this is definitely going to be a long-term goal. But once I have all these mushrooms growing up, I'll have a nice big yield. I can dehydrate them and go from there. I love to have mushrooms on standby just so I can put them in stews and stuff like that. There's only one last one. Well, and that's it for now. Thank you for watching today. Hopefully you stick with us long enough to see the fruits of our labor from today. It'll be really cool once mushrooms start sprouting out of that. So I'm really excited. I wish I wasn't so impatient and I could just see results right now. All right, thanks for joining. See you again later.